Woo! Hightown. Who, you caught your breath yet?
Yeah.
I ain't caught my breath. Hightown, episode 5, season 2. Best episode you guys have put out in 2 seasons. The absolute best episode. It was topsy-turvy. A lot of the things I predicted in my trailer breakdown that I did yesterday, some of those things happened in this episode, especially me talking about Renee having the dark makeup and is they taking her character for a dark spin. And guess what happened? She went dark, accidentally went dark.
Right.
But she accidentally went dark, but the way she fixed the problem was her going dark.
Right.
That's what happened.
Right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the Life Game Lamont Tyson live review. I've taken my wife away from her doctor business to come and talk about this show because it is so good. And again, don't forget, we will be having Rebecca Cutter at the end of the season coming to recap all this stuff in the interview. And I've got another interview coming up with a cast member this week. And I think my honey will like this interview. I ain't going to say who. I'm going to just surprise y'all. So, honey, in true fashion of how we do this, please subscribe, like the channel, and share. This is a great show. One of the best episodes of anything that came on this weekend. Be sure to check it out. I have to start us out with the opening clip. And now, what clip do you think I got to start this whole thing out?
A clip from your best clip or your favorite clip or what?
My most intriguing clip from this particular episode. Without further ado, she ain't even got to guess. I'm going to show it to y'all. Here we go.
Does that make you feel like you've got a big dick?
Don't get it.
Because I've got a big dick too.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh.
I didn't mean to.
It's not funny. We're laughing because we're in pain. That's why we're laughing because I'm in pain.
It was hilarious. Sorry.
No, it was not funny.
I rewound that part. I don't know how many times because she was just so serious. Okay, we'll get to it when we get to it.
We'll get there. But ladies and gentlemen, that gives you kind of the essence of how this episode went. And one more special note before we start going scene by scene. One thing that makes entertainment even better is the music, or as they use in Hollywood, the score. Mm-hmm. The score on this particular episode. Hightown, you got yourself a winner, especially the scene when Ray was getting his ass beat.
Listen to this music.
Yeah, listen to that music. It was like scary stalker music. He was getting beat down. So let's get into it, honey. Let's start from the very beginning. Everybody that's watching us live, I'm going to be in and out commenting on what you're posting, so just bear with me. So we start this whole thing out, honey, with my girl Jackie.
Poor little Jackie.
She's sprung.
Poor little Jackie.
She is sprung over little Leslie. And Leslie got her so good that she's doing a thing that some of you people do after y'all get y'all little nut. Y'all hold me. Go. And instead of that, Leslie is getting up, getting out of bed, talking about she got to go to court. Honey, break that first episode down.
Oh my, how the tables have turned.
Flip.
Jackie is usually the one who's up and sneaking out and leaving people, and she laying in bed this time. And if she hadn't opened her eyes, Leslie probably wouldn't even told her she was leaving.
Leslie was out.
Right.
And then they kind of had a discussion. Leslie gonna lie to Jack and say, well, this is my first time doing this. I guess I got lucky.
You're right.
Leslie, you lying.
Right.
And secondly, Leslie claimed she was gone to court.
We ain't see her the whole episode.
We ain't see Leslie I told y'all, don't trust that Leslie. I told you, Leslie disappeared. Jackie done went and tried to get the squad father. Jackie been texting her. We're gonna get there. It's just so much to unpack this episode. But Leslie, you're a liar. And we're watching you because Jackie's one of my top 3 on this show. Then, honey, oh Lord, ladies, this next clip we're looking at is Jorge coming back to apologize to Daisy after he done beat I ain't gonna say he beat the tar out of her, but she gave her a shiner.
He jabbed
this, and not only that, but ladies and gentlemen, this is the month after Domestic Violence Month, and I'm here to tell y'all, when someone is abusing you, and then they try to shower you with gifts and love, and they're going to take you out of town. At some point in time, you've got to not fall for that. You cannot fall. That is like domestic abuser 101. Honey, how'd you feel? And at first, I was thinking Daisy was going to just like, nah, dude, my kid is more important. But folks, she fell for the banana in the tailpipe. Talk about Daisy, honey.
I thought he was setting her up.
Oh, you thought?
Yeah, I thought he was setting her up to take her and kill her. Just like they did that guy when they said, let's go
on the boat.
Yeah, you know where we can get a boat.
Yeah.
So he was taking her to the beach to throw her off in the ocean. So yeah, I was starting from that point forward. I was nervous for.
I didn't think he was going to kill her because he spent so much money. He bought her that high dollar bracelet.
That's what you got
he got her
to lure her to the beach.
I felt like he was trying to make up because I've seen punks do this type of behavior before. Beat on someone they claim they love and say they love them. You know, he said, "I love you," and she looked at him like, "Yeah, yeah. You didn't love me when you punched me in my eye."
They say that's love too, don't they?
Oh, they do.
That's what some of them
say.
In
what country?
The one who beaten her.
Oh, okay.
He has so much emotion and passion.
Emotion, my ass. He hit the girl. He sucker punched the girl. Ain't no emotion.
Right.
Hey, Jorge, you got what you deserve. We'll get there. We'll get there. Oh, then we get Sergeant Allen, who I've been ragging on for getting back up with Ray. He goes to this boarding house where Charmaine and her sister stayed at for a little while, where some of the refugees and immigrants come to. And this man gave him some information. He had pictures and the whole nine. Honey, talk about this. How did you feel about, but he ain't give it to him for free.
Right.
He was like, you got to pay a price for this. So talk about that, honey.
I mean, he gave up the information before he got the money. I think they just have a mutual respect for each other. And Alan is he's gonna need him again.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Again, we're gonna see this guy again.
And Alan, he even gave Alan the drop that Jorge came there and talked to Charmaine, even though he didn't really mention what he heard and all that kind of stuff.
And Alan tried to slide out without sliding him some greasing them.
Exactly. Bro, ain't nobody gonna tell you nothing. You ain't gonna give me no money. I'm up here risking stuff, risking my nonprofit for you, bro. Give me some money under the table. Yeah. But Alan is definitely going to have to see him again. He's going to need him for something. So I think Alan made the right decision, even though cops are not supposed to bribe people. That's technically a bribe. You're not supposed to do that. But he's already done gone across the line to show you that.
Him for his time. Thanks for having a conversation with me.
No. You sound like Daisy last week. This is a donation. This is not a payment. No, it don't work like that. Stop it. Next one. Osito. So, honey, guess who I'm doing the interview with this week? I'm doing it with Mr. Atkins himself. Osito. He gets a call from the homie Charmaine, who says she's the queen now. You know what I'm saying?
She's not the queen. She's the HBIC.
Well, I was going to save that till we got to that part. So I was moving up to her being there. But right now, she's a queen. But basically, she's giving him the drop that she's going to be getting some drugs in the jail.
And they speaking in code.
Speaking in code. But they did have one specific code that involved a street, and it was a specific time, 3:30. And so Osito's like, word, let's make it happen. Now, remember, she also mentioned in this episode that she's keeping her uncle's commissary stocked too.
Right.
So
she taking care of it.
She handling all the business, man. And we're going to see this young lady evolve. I'm telling you, they're going to have this girl evolve. And then this next scene was just not realistic, Hightown, for me and my wife, because let me explain to you what happened. Now, y'all know I goes hard for my girl, Renee. One of the reasons why we decided to get in front of the camera this week was because this episode was so deep with emotion. Y'all had to see our facial expression. Oh, goodness. So that's why we got in front of the camera this week. And y'all know this is my girl, Renee. But Hightown, I can tell you right now, Renee ain't got enough bricks in her hind parts to think she's going to threaten this black lady that she hit in the back who has a raggedy car. And the black lady even said my car is raggedy. But most black people that's going to say my car is raggedy, we is not about to say we running away from you because we intimidated. We about to say, oh, my neck, my back, and we falling out on the floor because you hit me in the back and it's your fault. Then Renee is driving a red Mercedes. Talk about this scene, honey. Oh, my neck, my back.
Yeah. But as soon as that lady said, oh, that's all right, I'm like, oh, ain't no way. Ain't no way. But the other thing that stood out to me about this scene
Mhm.
was Renee getting scared because
Mhm.
she was worried about the baby. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, if you that
Mhm.
worried, you are not about to have an abortion.
Right. And
Yeah.
in the end,
And I think that's when she came to that realization too.
right.
It probably
right.
shot because she was on the way to the
clinic.
to the clinic.
Planned Parenthood.
If she
right.
realized if she was that concerned about the well-being of her unborn child,
Right.
then
I
she need to keep it.
And at the end of this whole thing, she did call them and she counseled and said, "I'm gonna keep it."
At the end of that encounter, right?
Yeah, and when that decision was a 2-for-1 decision, my people, y'all didn't catch it, but your boy caught it. In that,
just go.
In that same moment, not only did she decide that she wanted to keep the life inside of her, she also realized she's in love with the life that's already an adult. Right.
What about the thought where how can I pin this pregnancy on Frank?
No, she never thought that.
Yes, she did.
No, she didn't.
She was trying to figure out how am I going to pin this on Frank.
She was not thinking about that. After this,
she had a whole conversation about him wanting kids.
After this car, okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I'll give you. But I don't think she didn't have the conversation about the kid. She had to. We'll get there. We'll get there. I don't want to. I'll save it.
Oh,
now here's the attractive therapist working with Aceto, and I told my wife last week. I said, they ain't put this attractive therapist in there for nothing. Y'all remember the comment Aceto said, and I will pick on him about that in our interview. Here she is again, starting to look at him with a little bit more intent. She's getting turned on by his drive to fix his leg. That's what's got her attracted to him. He's working hard to get his leg fixed. You see, he's just with the cane now, like Biggie Smalls. He ain't got the whole full crutch. And he asked her for more time. Now, of course, this is part of his drug plan.
Take advantage of her.
However, she see he's working hard. She's gonna work hard for him, and she's getting sweet on him all at the same time.
Oh goodness!
Now, what you think?
When I first saw this scene, I was like, okay, they're a little too comfortable.
A
little too comfortable. And then your comments from last week replayed in my head.
Look, if y'all not watching my trailer breakdowns I do before these episodes come out, where I try to hypothesize and predict things, you're missing the treat. The one I put out yesterday had so many points that kind of stuck home in this episode. I implore you to go check them out. Here we go. In my trailer breakdown, this came straight from the trailer. I called these two the Northeast modern version of Crockett and Tubbs from Miami Vice. And here they are meeting up with Jackie. And this is when they realize that they both are homing in on the same entity in essence, Charmaine. They are Sergeant Allen and Ray are working the Charmaine angle, while
Jackie comes out of left field with Charmaine as well.
But Jackie's working the angle via Daisy and comes out with Charmaine via them too.
Right.
So how do you think this is going to play out? Because we've got some strong characters in this little scene right here. All three of them are working to try to. Ray has them. It's probably in the deepest deficit right here because he has nothing to lose.
Right.
At least Sergeant Allen has the sergeantship to lose. And Jackie has a new girlfriend that ain't her girlfriend to lose, and 2 jobs. She's still in the marine fishery. She can lose that too. So break that down for me, honey.
I was just wondering, why is Jackie so quick to talk and say who her CI is in front of Ray, knowing he ain't a police officer?
She wet behind the ears when it comes to that, and she trusts Ray. But she trusts Ray. She trusts Ray. She trusts Ray.
Yeah.
You think she's wrong in trusting Ray?
I think on behalf of the CI, yeah, she shouldn't be blabbing.
But honey,
I mean, you know how Ray is.
Yeah, he's a loose cannon.
A screw up.
He's a loose cannon.
Yeah,
he's definitely a loose cannon.
He's going to catch them as bad as everybody else, but still, he's a screw up.
Yeah, he's a screw up. But I mean, they in deep now, and Ray warned her about Leslie. She ain't listened. So why should we think that Jackie should start making good decisions at this point? He tried to warn her, she ain't listen. And then we get to my boy Eddie Murphy. Now, this is one of my top 5 favorite characters. They don't give him a whole lot of scenes, but the essence and substance of his character is that of like kind of a good, strong grandfather. Yeah. So I like Eddie Murphy for that. You did a great job with his character. But now he's been hot on the trail. He wants to retire. Now they don't want to admit it to us, but Eddie Murphy wanted to get it. He's ready to retire, but he can't retire because he got to get the Squad Father.
Right.
He's got to take down the Squad Father. So he's got some intel that a great white shark is about to come through, and they all gonna posse up and get ready to get the Squad Father. Did you think that was gonna actually catch the Squad Father?
I was hoping, or I was thinking they would. I'm just curious where they're carrying the storyline. It's all going to come together eventually, but I mean, maybe they're doing it because they're showing the relationship evolve between him and Jackie. But you know, why are they showing him track down? You know, I think it's going to be some drug smuggling or something somewhere along the line where it's going to meet up with the other case they're trying to solve.
Right. There's definitely going to be a connection. Again, my top 5 characters, y'all can't get rid of none of them. And Eddie Murphy's on my top 5 characters. Love this dude, man.
I feel so nervous for him.
I do too. But there's going to be a deeper plight with him. We'll see it later on. And this episode really made you have more of an emotional grip to him with the way Jackie was treating him later on. We'll get there. This is Aceto going to his 3:30. And we learned that whoever this particular officer is, he's corrupt. He tells Aceto, you got 25 seconds to get to the end of the fence. Ask my wife what she said. Ask her what she said.
They done messed up already because it's going to take them about 5 minutes to get over there with that cane.
You hear that? You hear that, Aceto? You hear that? We're going to talk junk about her when we do this interview.
You know he's limping over there. That's my boy.
He got on over there, got the drugs, and then he passed it to his cellmate, which, folks, I was worried about this. I said it last week. I don't want this dude to get in no trouble because he's resurrected himself. He's clean. He's soon going to be getting out. And now he done went to the kitchen and got the drugs fixed up for Aceto. Talk about
and
that.
The fact that they had that conversation lets you know that something's going to happen.
Something is going to happen.
Yeah.
Something's going to dastardly
show how you had the drugs all pinned to the
ceiling. Oh,
it
Lord,
only
have
takes
mercy.
One bad day in that prison. He's going to have a bad day, going to be laying there in the bed looking up like, there's my happy pill.
Yeah. And this is going to be a problem for Aceto because, you know, when you dealing the drug, you ain't supposed to be smoking all your work.
Of course, yeah.
And
it seemed like he did already develop somewhat of a emotional bond with his cellmate. So
I don't know. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I just think he used him.
I say that just because he had that conversation where he said, "I done lost some people already." Kind of like I don't want to lose you. It's kind of like the undertone that I got from that conversation.
I don't get that. I mean, but in this game, you can have feelings for people, but the business come over the feelings that you have for the individual.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe that's the angle he's working. We'll see. Oh boy, little Miss Green Charmaine thinks she is hot shit now, y'all. She comes in here to this meeting with Jorge and Frankie. She tells Frankie about what's going on with Ray and Alan snooping around her auntie's house. And she said, how y'all gonna handle it?
Not gonna handle that,
Right. And then, you know, they said little snide remarks, pass her the money. And then they start just messing with her. And she's like, look, man, I'm gonna need 10% for my time. And they looking at her like,
she said, I'm gonna need a 10% waste fee.
Yeah, waste fee. I'm gonna need a 10% waste fee. And they're looking at like, what's that? And she's like, my time.
You wasting my time.
And this is when she came out and said, I'm taking care of my sister. I'm taking care of my uncle. She ain't telling him about what she's doing with Aceto.
I'm taking care of y'all because I'm helping y'all get paid.
She told him about them. And then she said, I'm the HBIC in charge. I'm scared for Charmaine, honey. I'm scared. I'm like, she moving too fast at this because, like, who's her soldiers? Her sister,
right?
What her sister gonna do? Beat somebody up with a remote control from the video?
Yeah. Unless her uncle got some people on the outside to help protect her. I don't know, but she sure don't got no muscle.
No, she has no muscle. She ain't enough muscle. And look at who she's looking at. She's looking at these two buffoons. And this was the episode Frankie showed us that he is a boss in terms of I'm gonna handle business even if it means killing.
Ruthless,
he's ruthless.
Yeah.
All right. Then post Sergeant Allen, and I said this was gonna happen. I said, Sergeant Allen, you messing around with Ray, you risking everything. Not only you risking your career, your wife still don't know, who seems to be kind of your better conscience, and you ain't told her. We ain't seen. She don't know about Ray, but his boss. comes in here and chastises him because Frankie obviously called, got his lawyer to call and say, I'm being harassed by Ray. Ray beat me up in the restaurant when it was really the other way around. And now they done told that he's hanging with Ray again. And dude's like, you better get rid of Ray. You saw this coming with Stevie Wonder glasses.
Right.
Yeah, right.
We're just waiting on the train wreck.
Right. And we still on the train. Like, he's trying to act like he off the train, but he has a bond with Ray, and he showed it.
They've been partners for how long? I don't think he's just gonna ditch him. Unless he try to sleep with his wife like he did the other guy.
Yeah, we'll see. Now, when you get into these situations where you could lose your job, you're talking about upsetting your own house for a friend that's been a fuck up. His wife ain't going for that. Or he gonna be like he said, I'm gonna be sleeping in this basement with you. Oh boy. All right. So then they're getting ready to go to stake out where the shark is going to be found. And throughout this whole trip, all Jackie is doing is texting, or what's the new word? What did the kids say? Sexting?
Oh, goodness.
She's sexting Leslie the whole time as they're going, not even paying Ed any attention while they're trying to get set up.
Goofy grin on her face.
Look at that. Yeah, she's smiling.
The phone lighting up the car.
She is acting like a teenage girl who just met a young boy who's wearing man cologne and has a mustache.
All those
That's what she's acting like. Yeah,
she had all the mannerisms down.
Monica, that was some great acting.
Just texting and smiling
great
and
touching her lips.
Nervous.
Doing all this sexy stuff. Oh,
she was making me mad. Bottom line, I'm like, you supposed to be paying attention to what you're doing, so Eddie Murphy don't get killed. I'm anxious about Eddie Murphy, and you over here. Here texting on the phone.
See, I'm stuck in a quandary because she's one of my top 5 characters as well as Eddie Murphy. So I'm just like, I don't know what I'm like. I don't know.
She messing it up.
I don't know what to do. I just don't know, y'all. I got these characters. I'm so bonded to them. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I just don't know.
Shut up.
Okay. This was a very telling scene. Very telling. Frankie goes in there. He's already done talked to Jorge about Daisy.
He's suspicious.
Jorge done said you can trust her the way you trust Renee. He's suspicious. Frankie's like, I don't believe that. He goes in there, asks her some questions, and the first thing she did, Daisy, and y'all know I was caking up for Daisy. Daisy came clean and said, yes, he did it, but we're good now.
Oh, goodness. As soon as she gave up a name, it said Jorge did it. I'm like,
you knew it.
He was testing you.
You knew it.
You didn't fail that test.
You knew
miserably.
it. You knew it. The gig was up at that point.
Right.
It was up. It was no holding back. You knew it was going to happen.
She's supposed to be smarter than that.
And then, but no, honey, she's not.
Unless
because do you remember what Jorge said?
What?
She's stupid. She's stupid, dumb.
She's dumb, but she ain't stupid.
Yeah. Says the man that punched a woman in the eye.
She dumb, but she ain't stupid.
Lord have mercy, man.
Maybe she thought, oh, this is Jorge's brother. He can help look out for me.
Maybe she did. Maybe she did. I think that's the perspective.
I can tell anybody, it's you, I guess.
But at the end of the day,
you supposed to be loyal to Jorge.
No, she's supposed to be loyal to her kid.
Because
remember what was motivating her to keep going? Because she was ready to basically just throw life away last week.
But in this situation, I don't think they really know much about her kid.
No, I'm talking about her personal motivation.
Okay, so how could she have been loyal to her kid?
Because she should have kept getting intel for Jackie and just played as if she was down for Jorge and lied to Frankie so she can keep getting the intel till she give them enough of what they need so they can get her back with her kid.
The bottom line is she should have lied to Frankie.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Regardless of what motivation it is, Frankie don't care about no kids.
One of the reasons she didn't lie is simply because she fell for Jorge all over again. She fell for Jorge all over again.
If she fell for Jorge, she should have been loyal to Jorge, at least by street code.
The reason why she
said he did, he
no. The reason why she told on Jorge, you just answered, is because she's trying to get back on a good footing with their relationship, and she thinks that this man is like a big brother that can go talk some sense in the horse. You said it. You said it.
No.
You said it. You
No.
just said that.
What?
Well, exactly what I just said. You just said it. And that's why she did this.
Regardless of what rule you go by, being loyal to Jorge, or even in Frankie's eyes, he felt like she should have lied to him.
Right. Of course,
and just stayed loyal to Jorge.
Of course, Frankie said that.
Meaning you can't,
But like I said last week, there's dissension in the ranks with Frankie and Jorge, and this just goes to pretty much prove my point. If he really was down with Jorge and believed him, he wouldn't have went asking her nothing.
I mean, he don't trust Jorge.
Exactly. Then we get to the scene where Aceto's cellmate has went and did his job in the kitchen, got the drugs up in the ceiling.
What is this? What, bubble gum or what? What's holding that?
I don't know how they got that wrapper up there, but something's holding it. And Aceto, being the cunning G that he is, he grills his man. He's like, "Bruh, can you handle this temptation?"
Sure. Yeah.
The cellmate gave some pretty good answers, don't you think?
I'm just trying to get by just like you.
Yeah.
I mean, but still, you laying there in the middle of the night looking up at that ceiling.
Right. At least get on the bottom bump. Don't stay on the top. Get on the bottom.
You think Aceto's getting on that top bump?
Okay, good point. Good point. What? Okay.
All right. If he did, you about to lay up underneath him.
See, you got jokes. See,
you know, Aceto, one of my favorite characters.
You got jokes. See, moving right along. So now we get Sergeant Allen going to tell Ray, "Look, bruh, Crockett and Tubbs of the Northeast, we got to break up. There can be no more of this because my captain done told me I got to cut you loose." However, after he got through his anger with Ray, he did kind of break down and say, "Man, you my man, blah, 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 but I can't be living down here in the basement with you." He showed that he's still concerned about Ray.
Right.
Honey, is this the end of this relationship between these two?
No.
No
not
way.
At all.
Not
a
day.
He told Ray, you ain't never getting back on the force, basically, on the police force. When he said that, I'm like, oh, that means Ray about to get back on the police force eventually.
But
so it ain't over.
But when he said that, did you notice the somber tone that came over Ray when he sat down and started eating that rice? He was hurt by that. Because I think Ray is just as invested in this guy's friendship as his job. And when he told him, he just dug the knife right in his back. Bro, you're not getting on this police force. Ray sat down. Ray's in shape too. So, people in shape, we don't be eating like that. That man grabbed that bowl of rice and started eating it.
He was doing
like kids eat chicken nuggets.
He was eating to stop from crying.
Yeah, he was eating to stop from crying. But that relationship ain't over. Hightown, y'all ain't slick. We see y'all. All right. Then Ray, still feeling a little depressed, going to get junk food. My man went and ordered a triple-double Big Mac with nacho fries and all kinds of stuff.
Extra cheese.
But then he sees somebody he used as a CI that was beat up by Kizzle, in essence caused by Ray. And this guy still is under the assumption that Ray's working for the police. And Ray he asked Ray, "You got another job for me?" And I'm thinking, Ray, come on, Ray. You at some point in time, you got to know if people's trying to set you up. But no, Ray didn't. Ray said, "I got a $50 job for you."
You saw that one coming?
I saw this coming. Okay. I saw this one coming all day. And then we get Daisy in the club talking to Renee. What was important about this? Renee basically told her what I explained earlier about domestic people that abuse people. Don't trust them.
Right.
And when they buy you diamonds and pearls and flowers, don't trust it. And you know what Daisy said? F you, Renee.
No, she didn't. She just said, "Thank you, Mama."
F you, Renee.
Right.
That's what she said. You just try to make it nice. But she basically said, "F you, Mommy, Renee." And I also mentioned in my trailer, this dark makeup that they had on my homegirl, Renee, who's my number one character, was a sign of something in my trailer breakdown. I said this was a sign. Are they taking her character in a dark place? They're making her darker, and we almost took that scene, honey. Let's get there. Oh Lord, this is the scene you was talking about when she went in there with Frankie, and this was her last ditch effort to try to get through to Frankie to get out the drug game, because she's in here talking about, "I want to get out of this life. I want to be a housewife. I want to just have a family." And Frankie did what a lot of men would do. We want to talk about the sex part of it, but we don't want to care about what's going to happen after all that. We want what's in the moment. For any instant, did you think Frankie was going to entertain this stuff she's talking?
Not getting out, no. But having another baby, I can see him, trying to go that route. But no, I don't think Frankie. He's not interested in getting out the game, and he's not interested in letting her be a housewife.
Nope.
He got her running the club,
because when you in this type of industry, the only people you really can trust is family, and sometimes you can't even trust them. If he only knew what's going through her head and what's going in her body right now,
right?
If he only knew, and when he find out.
I thought Jorge was gonna find out and hold it over her head and try to build a wedge between her and Frankie, but we know that ain't gonna happen.
Nah, ain't gonna be no wedges built. You can forget that. So here we go. They're about to stake out the place where they think the squad father is transporting sharks, right? And the whole time they doing this, Jackie's in here playing on the phone. Homeboy that they sent in there to the strip club is back there reading that text. He thinks Leslie is hot. And look at this text message. She's like, is there anything I can do to make you feel better? And of course, Jackie said, send me a pic. Next thing we know, within 30 seconds, Leslie had sexted her a pic, which tells me this ain't new to Leslie. Leslie been doing this. Leslie been doing this. And then look at Jackie. Look at the look on Jackie's face. Right. She all green.
Just giggling.
OMG, but this is when Jackie messed up. Jackie is riding that infatuation train hard. She's in the river denial infatuation. She said, OMG, I love you. Crickets.
Right.
Crickets. Talk about that, honey.
That's when Jackie's little world fell apart.
Just like
she's sitting there just looking and waiting on the response to come through, and it didn't come through. And Jackie, I bet you she sent that girl about 100 texts that night.
Called her, everything.
Oh goodness, trying to explain her actions away.
Jackie's
gone.
Jackie's feeling the pain that she's caused other people, and Jackie let that girl get that one nut, and now it's a wrap. Oh boy, this was a chaotic scene right here. Daisy goes to the vacation house and gets shot by Frankie, and Jorge is livid. And look at the splatter that Hightown. Look at the brain matter from Daisy they put up there. Honey, talk about this.
I knew it was coming. I just didn't think it. I thought it was going to be Jorge.
You thought
I thought it was going to be Jorge. But when they showed Frankie standing back there with the gun, I wasn't surprised either.
You couldn't be, because Frankie had to reassert that he's the boss, because they've been bickering as if they are same playing field. You ain't know which one has the power over the other one, and Frankie just had to come in there and let you guys know I'm the head, whatever, in charge of this.
Right.
So
and he made it known that during that little exchange that they had that he'll do it to Renee, basically.
That's what he said. Yep, that's what he said. Y'all didn't think we caught that part? We heard that. We heard that. So this is when they go in here for the sting, and unfortunately, there was no Great White, and I felt so bad for poor Eddie Murphy. Yeah. Talk about poor Eddie Murphy, honey.
His little feelings was hurt. I'm like, he gonna cry when he get back in the car.
He didn't cry, but he was distraught. He didn't cry, but I felt bad for Eddie Murphy, because I really want this to be the thing for him, so he can go ahead and get it. This is all he needs for his career, and I think he'll call it a wrap. All right. Then we get to one of my wife's favorite scenes. The shooting of Jorge. That's how we opened up this video. Honey, talk about Jorge's talking about threatening you, pull out his little pipsqueak gun.
It's kind of Jorge's fault.
How is it Jorge's fault?
Because if he hadn't have pulled that gun out, flexing, talking and pointing at her, talking about if I threaten you, you would know it.
And what she do?
She did the same thing.
No,
if he hadn't have done that, you think she would just pulled out a gun, just randomly and aimed it at him?
See, my honey's trying to be nice.
No.
Not only did she pull out a gun, she insulted the man by saying, "Oh, that's how you know that's how you feel about your penis.
That's how you make yourself feel."
And then she's like, "Well, mine is bigger." Boop. And then she made him stay, popped it on the table, shot his butt in the stomach. And my honey was laughing at the way he was screaming, sounding like Mike Tyson.
And the way that she did it, she just like she knew how to handle that good. Like she just bowed it.
But what was funny was how at first it seemed like she was going to help him. He kept saying, "Call Frankie." Next thing I know, she was like, "Oh, F this. Your A about to die." And took all the phones out the room.
She grabbed all the cell phone, had like 3-4 cell phones, ran out the room, and then realized, wait, it's a landline.
Right. And came and got that. Y'all made my girl dark. As long as y'all ain't kill her.
Came back in and then it was just so dramatic because she was just like falling all in the blood.
It was a mess.
Grabbing at her leg.
It was a
and
mess.
Finally gets out in the hallway, blood. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was a mess, man. Good toss, Hightown. This was pure entertainment. Then we get to the scene where this young man comes back with a dude that looked like Paul Bunyan. And I said in my trailer breakdown, for somebody to be whipping Ray ass the way it was getting whipped, you had to be a super duper man's man. Turns out the dude's like 6'6", 290, his daddy, and they beat the pure fire out of Ray. And then they was like, you took my tooth? I'm about to take one of yours. They beat Ray. Ray trying to crawl away and drug his ass. Not only that, but y'all played that dramatic music.
Mm-hmm.
Just out sucked it. I was like, oh, Ray. Do you feel bad for Ray?
Not really. I have no emotional attachment to Ray. Sorry.
None?
I mean,
I do. You know why? Because he's carrying Renee's baby.
He's carrying Renee's baby?
Excuse me. Renee is carrying his baby. So that's my attachment.
I mean, you want to see him do better. But
is it going to happen?
He's just, I'm not all that emotionally attached.
I feel you. Then we get back to the scene where Renee comes out from the bloody office, and then she goes out and meets the help. And she basically tells the help, I'm gonna need y'all to clean this stuff up. The
custodians or whatever.
To clean this stuff up.
The cleaning lady. They sure enough cleaned up.
They cleaned up good time. They cleaned up to the tune of $60,000. Then they got Renee to help them drag the body. If I was Renee and I was gonna get them back to Jamaica,
that was another one of my favorite scenes.
And pay that fee. I won't help y'all drag no heavy ass Jorge. No. I'm paying y'all $60,000 in total. I'm not helping drag nothing.
You ain't got no choice.
No, yes I do.
What?
Drag the body. Because how the body getting out with the car that they took?
I'm saying Renee don't have a choice.
Yes, she do. She can say, I'm paying y'all $60,000, drag the body.
No, she don't.
Yes, she do.
And all I gotta do is run up out of there talking about, hey, she killed somebody.
Oh, they can do that now with the money.
Renee. Well, she ain't have a choice. She dragged the body, didn't she?
She dragged the body. Streets need a body. And this was the scene where I was disappointed.
Sorry, but them two women, I loved it. The way they were looking at her like, you crazy. What the heck you
look at
about?
Look at her.
Yeah.
And I was going to give her credit for them hot boots, but I can't because they bloody now.
I was wondering how come nobody was coming up in that room. But yeah, anyways, props to the two women, that played that role.
Yeah,
you did a great job.
Props to the help. Y'all did a great job in that role. This is a scene where they had the back and forth, kind of the father-daughter relationship, Eddie Murphy, Jackie digging the knife at him about never being able to catch Scrod Father. And then he poking back at her about this blissful teenage love she's having with Leslie.
Everything Jackie said to him, she blowing up at him because she's mad about Leslie.
Right.
Everything she said to him, all she needed to do is just sit in the mirror and say it to herself.
That's it. Nothing else needs to be said about that. That was all a Leslie thing. Then these are your girls that came to Renee to get everything cleaned up. And and not only did they clean up, my people, that room was spotless. But the only issue that I told my honey I had was, Renee, there's still a bullet somewhere stuck in that room. And I had said, Renee, the gun, but she did go back in there, but she left the gun in there. So you got a bullet somewhere around there that you got to find, and you left the gun. Body. Could be, but I doubt it. At that close range, well, he did have a lot of meat in the middle. So, okay, I see where you're going with that. Then the climactic end of this whole thing, which was so good. Ray was about to commit suicide.
You know what? And I guess I do have a little bit. I did feel sorry for him there.
See, this was Ray's lowest point. And then at the stroke of a door, knock, knock. Look who shows up. Renee. And look at the look on Ray's face. I mean, Renee, you in love with that? Look at the look on you in love with that. Who the hell wants to love that?
You gotta be if you see that open the door and you can just like, I love you.
No, she said, I fucking love you. Dude looked like he just survived. He just survived Nightmare on Elm Street, opening the door with the gun. and she says, I love you. And Hightown sent us out on that. Whew.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Whew.
It was a lot. It was a ride.
Whew.
To the point where after I watched it, I asked him if he watched it. He said no, and I'm like, I want to be there when you watch it because I want to see your face.
She did. The honey was like, I got to see your reactions because the way I presume to you guys on the internet, I entertain my wife the same way at home. I'm constant entertainment for the wife and the child. I'm like a little Cedric the Entertainer in this house. Ain't that right, honey?
Boy, are you.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. Post your comments down below, people. Get more people to watch this show. It is a great show. Please share my videos, if you will, with everybody that you know. Shout out to my super chatters out there. Will Lawrence, I saw you. And big shout out to all the folks working on this great show. Rebecca Cutter, Atkins, my homie, Monica, Riley. Everybody's doing a great job. And I'll be back tomorrow and Tuesday with another trailer breakdown for the coming episode. And that's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, get yourself that life game. Anytime you got questions or comments you want to hit me up, just hit me on IG Life Games. To the next Sex is Hell video. We'll see you.